Stitch, the Aussie backyard blacksmith here. So today I'm going to be making a pair of leaf end wall hooks. We'll be using 10mm stock. We're going to be forming a leaf on one end, drawing that out, leaving a body to put 2 screw holes in, and then drawing out for the hook. Once I've put the head on for the leaf, I'll draw out the stem for the leaf to 5 inches. Holding up a little bit. Drawing out a nice blunt taper. So I'm going to put this over a little bit. Half face blows. You want to go thin, but not so thin as you make it weak, and then start drawing it back. When you're drawing out, we're going round to square. Okay, so we drew those out to from round to square. They're about 5 inches. So now we're going to take the square to octagon. Start up here at the thickest. Go to the opposite side. Drawing it out. To the octagon. So now we're going to roll this. We tap with our hammer to take it from the octagon round. Sometimes you might need a couple of heats. Looks like this is going to be pretty good. Go. So that's drawn out now. Back to a round. Take this now, and where we drew out for that leaf end, and put it as one of those ridges, because you get 4 ridges when you draw it out like that. One of them up in the air, start drawing it out. We're going to take the peen at the bottom of the saucepan. Use that to draw it out. Now remember, if it's not as symmetrical as you'd like, use a file. So now, take our piece out, put it on the anvil. Hold in. We're getting our hot chisel. We'll start on the point of the leaf. Start drawing up a vein. Now you don't want to go right through, you don't want to split the leaf. Then we're going to do some side veins. Now, we're not going overboard.
because we're not actually making a real leaf. It's more or less like a caricature of a real leaf. So the people will see this and go, oh, that's not a point, that's a leaf. As I said, if you get some little imperfections, don't worry about that, and remember to cool your chisel, because it is a hot chisel. You don't want to take the temper out of it. So we're getting the shape of a leaf. The leaf nice and hot again. Get your little thing. Just put a bit of shape in it so that it looks more like a real leaf. Doesn't look like just a piece of flat steel made to look like a leaf. As I said, clean them up. We're going to keep some water near the forge just to cool the leaf tip off. Because if you start hitting on that leaf tip, you're going to deform it if it's hot. So we want to cool that so that we can hammer on that to start forming a bed. Hold it again in the pritchel to hold that nice and tight. Get that looking sort of level again. I'm going to put a punch mark here, a punch mark here. Put it there. Ball punch. That's not going to stay there for me. Right, and give it a whack. Give it a whack. So you get those. So we can drill in those, and it'll give you a nice place there. Start cutting it off your hardy. Now, don't cut all the way through with your hardy, because that's not good. The edge of your hardy or your hammer. Start drawing this other end out. We get it all drawn out. the other end, we've drawn it out square. Now we're going to turn it into octagonal. So, sitting down on the corner, and that allows the anvil to work on the opposite corner. Bring it back. We get the octagonal. Still a little bit of heat in there. Actually, I'll bring it up to heat again. So, magic of cinematography. We use this one. And you forge it to round. You should always start actually on the low, because the we're going to put a little curly Q on the end. Now that needs to be opposite to where the leaf is. Otherwise, when you bend the hook up, it's going to be on the inside of the hook, not to the outside. Now we can straighten that up a little bit later on. So that's what you're putting in. So what you want to do, you want to cool that curly Q. Little curl, so that you don't destroy it as you start to form your hook. Remember to keep it straight over the anvil. Cool. Put the cone mantle in. Bend that round it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to straighten everything up. So I'm going to put this in here. Hold that like that. Then you need something to turn that just so slightly like that, and line them up a bit. Unfortunately, I lost the light, as you could see by the last bit of video, so I couldn't show you putting the bronze colour on with the bronze wire brush or applying the paste wax and beeswax. So I hope you enjoyed it though. Thank you for watching.